Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ROP, Run of Play podcast, where we discuss all things football and in particular the EPL. And this weekend's football was magnificent. As a matter of fact, there was a team in North London that played without a striker and scored 2 goals. Meanwhile, there was another team in Manchester that played with 2 strikers and an attacking forward, but you couldn't tell. The only thing you could tell was that the tail had the lit in a spell. We are going to break all of this down in today's episode, and joining me back is the co-host and the team. Please welcome back Mr. Shaunti, our moderator. Mr. Shaunti, how are you feeling today?
I feel terrible. It's this game has been was one of the more annoying United games to watch. Like just as a fan, and I'm talking about like the 7-0 against Liverpool, 4-1 against City. Why always me, Balotelli, right? Think of your worst memory. I think this game today in particular was really terrible. I think the manager is starting to get precariously close to
It's okay.
the dangerous.
We'll
What
have
is he
time for all
doing?
of this monologue. We'll have
Is
time
he
for
out
all
of
of
his
this
depth?
monologue.
Questions.
Calm down. This is a safe space.
We'll dive into all that. We'll dive into
all
that.
of
No
it.
worry.
Please
No
welcome
worry.
back.
But you asked now, right? You asked how I'm feeling. So
Yes, I didn't
that's-
say. Yeah, no
that's
problem.
what
Sorry.
I'm thinking about.
We'll have a therapy session if that's what you want. No problem. And please
Needed.
welcome back, Sir Dixon. Dixon, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, even though I didn't get to watch the match because I wasn't able to track the time in the game. So by the time I tuned in, it was like second half, few minutes to the end. But
Oh, okay.
I think you
but
saved
it's sports,
yourself.
Fair enough.
so
Yeah, you saved yourself.
we expect that to be with Tottenham. We're not sure the sports that will turn up. Today they could beat a big team. Tomorrow they could lose to a small team. So they've done the job over us. Congratulations to them. We just hope we're able to. Oh yeah, trip it. Wow. So we just hope we're able to make the best out of what is remaining of the season. Hopefully,
Again, don't worry. We'll
progress
get
in the
into all of
Europa
that. I know
and
it's a safe space. We'll have a therapy session. Don't worry. Don't you worry. We'll get into all of that. I'm just asking how you're doing. Please, Jude, don't give us another monologue. Just tell us how you're doing today, sir. Okay, that's all we need to know.
Okay.
Amorim in. Yes.
Amorim.
Amorim.
Amorim at the wheel.
Yes. And Johnny Boy, my co-host,
I'm
not fan.
okay. It's I don't know. I was just it was a 50-50 for me because I expected Spurs to just score first and then
It's okay.
So,
And I'm all these
suspected,
United fans
so
are
I'm not
monologue.
really
What's going on? We're just asking how you're doing. How are you doing? Fine. How are you doing? Not okay. That's all we needed to hear. All these monologues. Don't need it yet.
Let him explain how he's
We
doing.
will get there. We will get there. We will get there. I'm
Don't
sure the audience have a
It's a safe
patience. Our
space.
community have a patience.
Clearly, it's not a safe space. Clearly, it's not a safe space now because
It is.
Please, Johnny Boy, I think we're in a better mood this weekend. How are you feeling today?
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm jovial. The weather though is crazy, but I'm happy. My team won, so
You see how we just say, how are you? Yeah,
Oh,
that's
goodness.
all. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for all of this speech and soliloquy.
it's okay.
But before we get into that, before I hand over to you, our moderator, Mr. Sheon, just a quick question to the United fans. How do you guys feel when you see all your players on loan performing well? Like when you see like Anthony performing well, and you see like Marcus Rashford performing well, how do you feel in terms of one of 3 options? Option number 1, do you say, okay, maybe it's a good thing they are there playing and enjoying themselves? Number 2, do you say good riddance? Or number 3, do you say, good they're playing well and we can cash in on them in the summer? Like which spectrum do you guys fall when you see your players performing well on loan? I'll start with our moderator, Sheon. Before I go to, I know what Jude is going to say, so I'll go to Sheon first.
For me, it's a combination of 1 and 3 now, right? Good. If you can get some form, welcome back into the squad. Come and help us next season. That's fine too. Also, if you can get some form, add 20 million to your price so that we can sell you at the end of the summer. That's also fine, right? What I don't want is somebody who fails wherever they are sent to and then has to come back to the club for us to be stuck with like a bag of shit. So it's good. Go and do well. Rashford in particular is paining me though. Like that one is actually paining me because as I'm watching our team today, right, 90 minutes, our coach is bringing on 17, 18, however old Chido will be to come and play with 3 minutes left, right? Meanwhile, Rashford is putting free kick, hitting the bar, dribbling somebody there and crossing into the box. Like what we're looking for from an attacker. So yeah, nah, it's a mix of it's a mix like mixed bag for me. I'll say this one.
Fair enough. I know Dixon doesn't like Rashford like that. So, Dixon, Dixon, how do you feel when you watch all these your players alone, them Anthony, them and Rashford?
So I think it's easier to play in a small club with less pressure than to succeed in United. Now I'm not saying that justifies those guys being sent on loan because I think Antonio has scored 3 goals now in like 4 games in Betis, and Rashford has been
Man of the match twice too.
yes, and Rashford has been very decent. The 2 games I've watched. Okay, I didn't watch Aston Villa this weekend, but I watched him in his first game, and I think he gave a good show. He put up a good show. Having said that, like I will go with Shemuti on this. It's a win-win for the club and the player because I mean, if you're sent on loan and you're able to prove yourself there, why not? We could sell you. It ends on a good note for everybody. If we're also not able to tell you, we'll bring you back, and you've proven that okay, you've added some finishing to your game, like not finishing as on scoring goals, but you've improved in certain bits to your game. The club will be better off for it. So it's not a bad thing. The only thing I fear is I hope the door has not been closed permanently on some players. Because for me, I would always
Like
see Rashford in my head as one of our own, and I genuinely believe he should be welcomed back. However, he has to earn it. But also, you he's earning it. It depends on is the door open for him to be able to earn it. Because there's a proverb in Yoruba that says you can't wake quick pretending to be asleep. So Rashford could be putting in hat trick on a weekly basis. If the door is closed from the view of the manager, I mean, there's nothing really we can. So that's why I'm hoping that the door is not closed to any player. If people earn their place, they should be able to return to the club.
Judy, you share the same sentiment, or
I wish them well.
they should be going.
They should be going. No
No
fight.
wins.
We have more. We have more to loan out. So if they need more, we can give them.
No wins.
So I wish them
So
well.
Jude, let me press you on this one. So you're saying in your mind it's better for Amorim to play Kobe Mino up front than
Who? He too can be going if he's not ready to be
Who?
upfront.
Amorim or Mino?
I need a summer where we are spending and buying actual players that want to play for the club that can handle pressure. I don't want somebody to be a try and lock again. You remember return of Ronaldo? You had a problem with return of Ronaldo. It was mixed feeling. Let everybody just go. Let's part our ways and counter. See, I think Rashford needs that new experience. That's what I said. He's tired of he has gotten to the point where he has achieved some things in the club, and he has gotten to the point where he's like considered high in the club, and there's no more motivation. It's just like Kevin De Bruyne and Man City. There's nothing you give De Bruyne to bring that form, that peak form that he has, age, and also like
Desire
that
is gone.
to
Yeah.
win something. There's no desire. Just let them go somewhere else where there's actual something for that club to win. There's something that like Aston Villa now will be happy winning a cup. So Rashford being there might be motivated by the team.
right.
Mind you, there's no motivation in the team. You're not
Ah,
bringing him back. If you bring him back, it's a 50-50. Do you want to start another 50-50 with next
wait,
season?
no, but Jude, like when you say there's no motivation in United team, right? I would grant you that Rashford himself fell off. He was tasked with being the leader of this new era United. He was supposed to carry the team on his shoulder, and he didn't live up to the expectation. And he crumbled under pressure.
Okay.
He, became a charity philanthropist, basically, to use as a cover for
And
his lack of
girlfriend,
form
girlfriend, philanthropist.
with going to nightclub, different babes, here and there, and eventually everything caught up with him, and now he's playing for Aston Villa. I'll get you all of that, but we're asked to choose between these players that we know have form, right? Like Kobe and Garnacho and Rashford, and this manager, right? And what is Amorim offering us basically, right? The promise of what? Like what is the prospect in your mind in the future from Amorim that requires us to back him and to sign, because this clearance you're talking about, it's not going to be three
Relegation,
players.
relegation is
It's
what is
five,
crazy.
6, 7 players basically that we possibly need, right? That's how much 300, 400 million
Well,
from where?
we can start with three or four and manage the ones that we have. We have the squad. You can't tell me that Garnacho cannot shoot. I've been saying this thing since the beginning of the season. Garnacho was scoring last season. This season, Garnacho cannot get a shot into the even clear goals. Garnacho will still miss it.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know
today,
what
like
else.
today's chance.
Yes, no,
What else do you want
because
to do?
before Garnacho was simply an attacking left winger, right? That's all he was.
You had
He was a classic,
you had the
simple
support.
attacking left winger. Now he's supposed to be
This is
a
chance
number
today.
10 that inverts and runs from deep, but also plays on the flank and also, runs in behind. And
Then that's why we need to bring somebody that plays that can play the position for the coach. Do you understand? If there's somebody in the feeder team, bring him up. If there's somebody in the reserve, bring him up. If there's none, buy outside and develop. We have 3 more years to develop more players to come up. But playing the system, are we going to sack the coach? Then let's sack the coach and play with the players that we have. Do you understand? Rashford's problem started from
Ten Hag.
what's his name?
from Ten Hag.
What's the former coach? Ten
Ten
Hag.
Hag.
So you can't blame him on this guy. Rashford, did you watch the Liverpool game? The Liverpool game was the height. He couldn't run. Rashford yesterday was tracking back,
Right.
doing all the things that I cannot even believe that Rashford for the
No,
last
no.
6 months has
So,
done
so
at Man. I'm not calling against Rashford. I'm just saying, is that ginger? Like a new experience can give you more life. You
Yeah,
no,
can
but
enjoy it. But when it comes to Messi, you might not be
that's
like,
what the
oh,
new
I want
manager was
nothing
supposed to
again.
do, right? That's what new manager bounce is about. A new manager comes.
yeah, but the same environment. That's what it's still the
Yeah,
same
it was
environment, though.
comfortable.
That's what we're saying.
No, no, but like the new manager comes with his staff, with his coaches, basically with his new ideas, right? And he's supposed to bring like a fresh feeling to the squad and motivate the players. The difference between Rashford in Aston Villa and Rashford in Amorim system is Emery is telling Rashford, I believe in you. You're one of the best attackers in the world, basically. Meanwhile, Amorim is telling Rashford that I don't care about anything you've done in the past. I need you to convert your entire footballing identity to suit this number 10
It's
role.
pressure,
And
man.
if you can't do it,
It's pressure.
then not only am I even going to bench you, I'm going to keep you out of the squad entirely. And I will come out on TV and say I would rather play my 65-year-old
Goalkeeping coach.
goalkeeping coach, right, than you. I mean, for now, it's still like a United this thing. But Dixon, I want to hear what you think about, because today, like I said, this game that I watched, it was pathetic. Like, what was Amorim, as far as I'm concerned, looking at for 88, 89, 90 minutes that he didn't see one single sub to make, basically, in this whole game. When Rashford first played for United, I think we had 13 injuries, basically, and then we lost two other strikers. And so, what did Van Gaal do? He brought in a 16-year-old to play against in the Champions League, and he scored 2 goals. Next thing we know, he scored against Arsenal, and the rest is history. Like, that's what I thought football was, meant to be about.
Yeah, and
But
that Chidobe had too much hype around him. You should have brought him on.
but with 3 minutes to play,
Yeah,
well, like Dixon,
I didn't know what
So
man better. I felt you could have brought him on.
I think it's sometimes it's hard to defend Amorim because I don't know if it's in this podcast or if I was listening to it on YouTube where they called him interim. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it's our guy. Our
it's
guy that calling
yeah, okay.
interim. Yes, right here.
So he
Yes,
sometimes
yes.
is appearing like
Benito.
his days in the club is even numbered because I mean if you've thrown out a certain amount of your players, there are some players who remain who fans like myself feel he should have let go rather than the ones he let go. So for example, you see a Casemiro, what value is he adding? He's still collecting. And then he could go back to Brazil as a pensioner. Why does he have to remain in our club? He could retire back to Brazil. Now Neymar is back to Brazil. I mean, you can go back home. Home is always best. So instead of just sitting on the bench and earning huge salary, Eriksen is also earning about 250, 280. But then again, I think it's still very early to analyze Amorim on and decide, okay, this is the direction or this is what he's seeking to achieve. Because, I mean, let's look at other top coaches. Pep in his first season in City went trophyless. But I don't think that is talked about much because of he made up for it in subsequent years.
There's a difference between trophyless and coming 16,
Sorry,
Dixon.
hold on. He
But
came
he came fourth
trophyless.
higher though.
Um, Ateta took over Arsenal, finished eighth, like back to back eighth. Klopp in his first season, he lost two finals. I don't remember where he finished in the league, but he didn't win the league. He lost two finals.
I think he
He
finished
also went
sixth.
trophyless in his first season. However, theirs he has not been as dramatic as Amorim. So I'm just saying all this to say that it's still early for us to really know. Of course, the season is almost over. However, it's his first season and he didn't start the season. It's always important to put that in perspective. He didn't have a preseason. He didn't have a summer transfer window. He came in December. A lot had happened. So I mean, he inherited this group. So you look at that
Let
vis-a-vis
me
with
let
Chelsea,
me
where
let me push you on this. Let me push you on this a bit, right? What do you think Amorim needs to do this season? Because obviously it's a results business. So where do you think this? How do you think this season needs to end in order for him to get the breathing room that he needs
so if he wins the
next
FA
season?
Cup,
Right.
if he wins the FA Cup, it's a major silverware. If he wins, which I doubt he can, if he wins the Europa, I really doubt that. But if he wins a major silverware, it gives people a so he earns some credit in the bank. Because I mean, people will be like, oh, you
Mm,
spoiled our
Yeah,
club, you did it, but then, boy, he won a trophy. So look at Ten Hag. In as much as we make jest of him and everything, we can't deny that he beat City in the FA Cup. If you ask me, I think that just saved
right.
the job last season. He won the FA Cup. That is a big deal. That earns you so much breathing space. So maybe not FA Cup, but maybe the Europa. But he needs a trophy because the way he's looking, we may finish on the second page. Guys, 11 downward. So
Mm,
yeah, my dad
mm.
calls the second page. When you're checking on DSTV and first 10 will be on the first page then. So that is where I think we may finish in that second page. So it needs a major silverware
No, but
to earn some trust.
more pushback. The managers that are able to, I think, that are able to do what you're talking about, right? Have terrible form in the league and succeed in the cup. These are usually very pragmatic managers,
Mhm.
like people like Mourinho,
Mourinho, classic.
like Ten Hag was like in the season, like people who are very pragmatic, are able to know their strengths and weaknesses. This is an ideologue. This our manager, this Amorim. This is somebody who is down to crash the ship provided that he gets to pilot it his own way and his way only and that's what I think we're coming basically into conflict with this Amorim guy that hey like where is the flexibility in your idea or in your system, like at what point do you realize that like if you're sporting playing against Boavista in Portugal, like it's not the same thing, right? Say you're doing this, you're this thing. Occasionally, you might surprise people in the Champions League because you've had lot of practice, right? But like in the Premier League, it's a different gravy. Like Johnny Boy, you wanted to jump in at some point.
and also remember, Amram is not only fighting for like United, he's also fighting for his reputation because you remember before he became United coach, he was interviewed for the Liverpool job. Whether I admit it or not, he was,
Mm-hmm.
and he was interviewed for the West Ham job. So could it be that they actually saw what United fans or United board didn't see because Liverpool were this close to hiring, but they changed last minute. Nobody knew Sort was going to take the job. It was all Amorim, but they backed out of Amorim. So could it be that they saw something? Maybe
We know
tactically
what
they
they
were not
we
sure of
know what
him.
they saw now. They saw that the manager is a very stubborn manager who plays a specific system
Yeah, yeah,
and
true, true.
requires a specific type of profile of player to play a system. And they were like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
true,
we
true,
have a
true.
very good squad with quality
Yeah,
players. We
yeah.
don't need to."
So that
That,
part
that's
also now.
why that's why Maresca is suffering now. He
So that's why also that also now let's see. So he's also fighting for that. His reputation is on the line.
Hmm.
So whether he proves them right or wrong, because if he proves them right,
No, no, no.
then I mean
He's
maybe
proving them right, right? But what he needs,
and
which is what I guess like where Judah and Dixon might have a point is that like what he needs is a the infrastructure behind him to back him, right? So if he says, okay, I Ruben Amorim, I'm a good manager, I have a good idea about how to play football, how to play the game of football, but I need player X, Y, and Z to be able to execute my system, right? It's up to the Ineos superstructure behind him basically to provide him the players that he needs to do it. Whether or not they should do that is the $1 million question, right?
but the
Um,
issue is that the modern day managers are so stubborn. That's like you said, they're so stubborn. Like the same thing with Ateta. I don't want to bring it, but it's the same thing. Like the one certain type of players, and most of the time they don't get those
hmm.
players. They don't have like an option B because when you come out and tell me there was nobody on the market just because your first choice wasn't available. Like it
Uh,
doesn't make any sense to me. So I think that all these money the managers are all the whole thing are like it's almost like my way or nothing else. I don't care. I'm crash and bomb by that ideology, which I think is garbage. But
before we hear from Dr. Toes, Jude, yeah, I think.
Um, uh, there's no, there's something I've been saying in the past episode. I've said I want him to change his play for smaller teams or change your play within the game, and it's not possible. What should I do? Should I be angry? The players don't fit his play. What the board needs to do is either support him or find a coach that supports the player. I don't think so. I
that's
think
not possible.
I don't trust them. Yeah, I feel he should have made a sub. I feel he should have made a sub. I saw some people being tired already, so they were tired legs. I made a sub. I Casemiro couldn't even tackle or put body because he was already on a yellow card. I felt he could have made Casemiro. Zexi was tired towards the end. He could have removed Zexi. Ojland needed some instructions. I don't know. He could have either changed his where he was. There was one shot, like literally, the defender knew he was going to take the shot. Ojland just still went and take the. Why can't you just cut? Like he just waited for the ball to come. And then the defender asked, what's his name? What's that defender's name? Spurs. The guy slid and then waited. Others didn't play the ball on his body. I'm like, why can't you just think? What else do you need? Like it's just simple. Cut. So he needed the stop, but I don't think we had that. He had that confidence
Mm.
in the stop.
Dr. Toes, what do you make of Ruben, Amorim or Ruben Interim, depending on on
He
which
doesn't.
one
The guy.
on which one you want
Ruben
to
Apart
choose?
from
Amorim,
his
Ruben
failure giving you
Interim,
joy,
Ruben,
Ruben Amo,
yes,
or
I
Ruben
mean,
Ruben no
keeping in mind
Amo.
that
One of those.
when he
Yes.
came up against Arsenal, he was successful in
you mean he knocked
Where
Arsenal
maneuvering
out,
and
right?
knocking out,
was in the
knocking Arsenal
penalty
out.
kick in the penalties on
Right.
penalties. It doesn't that
So
doesn't count.
you might be
Lot,
correct
lot,
that
though, lot.
he's Ruben Scamorim, that he might be a scammer because as Johnny Boy might be suggesting, maybe he's one of these cosmetic, managers that is just here to bamboozle you with 3-4-3 idea and then get sacked after a while. Do you see any substance behind like this guy's posture or like is he Scamorim
Yes,
at the end of the
I
day?
see a lot of substance. But before I talk about the substance, I want to ask a question that a famous Manchester United content creator or influencer, as you can say, asked today. He was like,
Who really fed?
he believes that the league is gone, right? The league is gone. So why not like play the kids in the league and then focus on like the Europa League and the FA Cup?
Yeah, but they already get relegated. That's my point.
Wait,
That's the danger
No,
of doing
no,
league
that.
is
10
gone.
points.
Like
You
you
have
guys are
with
not
10
going to get
points,
like
safety net.
United is not going to get relegated.
10 points
They're
is
not going to
not.
get
10 points
relegated.
is nothing.
The point gap
Believe me,
between
10
them
points is
and
nothing.
the team in the relegation zones is a lot. So that's not a problem. They can still nick like some draws before the end of the season. They still have to
10
play
points is
Arsenal as well,
nothing,
by the way,
Shorty.
and we'll get there. But for me, I think that he has to keep doing what he's doing right now because yes, the formation is 3-4-3, but as he always says, your manager Amorim always says, 3-4-3 is just a formation. Like, but that is not the way the game is supposed to pan out. Like in game, there's supposed to be fluidity. There's supposed to be like different formation changes. A lot of attacking teams or most of the teams nowadays they're playing that Pep style. If the team is in possession, the formation is actually like a 3-2-5 or a 2-3-5. But the problem with Manchester United is that you guys don't move from that 5 at the back. You just keep staying that 5-2, 5-3-2 or 5-2,
Very good.
So that's the problem, right? Because today you guys were still compact.
Don't blame
You were
them.
compact
They don't
looking for
trust
a
Onana.
goal.
That's why.
But you're still very, very compact. Spurs is entering you guys anyhow. Ted is entering you guys anyhow, but you're still compact. And, like, what is the point of this? What's the point of this 5 at the back
They
if you're
don't
not
trust
stopping
Onana. Don't
anybody?
blame them.
So I just think that he doesn't have the right players at the minute, so he just has to keep playing what he has so that he will instill that philosophy in the team and let the board know that okay, these are the profile of players that I will want in the summer. Don't just go and buy any random name that you think is going to be the next best thing. Don't buy commercial properties and come and put for me as
Okay,
my players.
no, wait.
Get me the right
Let's
members.
hash it out,
I
right?
can say you very
No,
well.
let's hash it out, right? Because like this idea that like maybe he needs new players. There are some system specific like choices that Amorim is making is making the players make. So, for example, right, I was watching this athletic analysis of Man United and how basically like we pass back a lot. The
Yeah.
ball gets to one of our midfielders in transition, opportunities to go back. Instead, he goes sideways, and that's per Amorim's instruction, right? This whole thing
I don't
of
know. I'm not going to buy that because the same thing happens with Ateta a lot as well. I don't think
no, no,
it
no.
is telling all those
It's the coach's instruction.
because you're meant to transition as quickly as possible. But if the players don't trust who's in the front, imagine they have Zegzi and Hoyland up front. Why would they pass to Hoyland when there's just like Bruno Fernandes on the side that they can pass to? Like I just think the players
No,
still have that option to do what they want on like
no,
when
no.
they're
But
on the
like,
pitch.
there are how many teams in the Premier League? 20 teams or so. You can tell what teams their instructions are to pass the ball forward more often, and those teams that part of their instruction is to first keep it, spread it from the side, play with your defender. You can tell those differences,
Yeah,
and it's
but
based on
the
instructions,
thing
right?
is, United are not. But if you're passing to the side, you're usually passing to rotate the ball, isn't it? To like keep possession. But you guys are not
That's what
even
I'm
trying to
saying.
keep
That's what I'm
possession or rotate
saying.
the ball.
Those teams that prioritize this rotation, this Pep Dutch, total football school of moving from side to side, rotate the. That's different from those of us that our football is straight, right? You're trying to get from post to post, so you kick the ball this way, not sideways or back and around.
Yeah, yeah. I also think that like today now he played in the midfield. He had Fernandez and Casemiro, but Casemiro was the one that was more forward than Fernandez, and you're like, who's meant to be the creative one among the two?
I think Fernandez is supposed to be the deep.
Yeah.
He's supposed to play like a deep.
Surely,
Right,
Casemiro should be the
deep line
deep
playmaker.
line playmaker, and then Fernandez should be more playing forward, isn't it?
That's what they've been playing of late. Bruno staying deep. He has been playing Bruno deep a little bit now. But because we didn't have the
And
main
whose
problem
fault
that we
is
had,
it? He
another problem
put
we
him
had
on the
today was
bench for a
Dalo
long
was
time.
useless on that right wing forward. It was just useless. Attacking, he just stayed back. The second half, the part I
No,
started watching, Dalo was booting, he boots like a computer, like my laptop that is trying to load 691. But the
Forever.
front ball, Dalo will still be waiting for the like. I don't understand. Dalo
No, no,
should
no, but
be
no,
in
no, no.
attack.
But in the first
If
half,
he
Dalo
wants
was
to defend, let him
efficient
go and defend.
because
If he doesn't want
the
to
second
do
half,
that
yeah,
transition.
second half was
So it's kind of all those balls that he has.
first half he was efficient because
Don't you see Dogu? Dogu is fast. Dogu is fast. Going forward, going backward. He's fast doing it.
That is why you
Ahmad
need
is
players.
fast. Coming
That is
back,
why you
going
need the players
forward.
that are going to play
Like
the
that's
system.
what they need.
That's what I'm
Not
saying.
people
You
that
need
will
the players
yes,
that will play the
that's why
system.
that's why he
System.
brought
If you
Dogu.
hold the ball, you
That's why he
destroy
brought
the
Dogu,
other
left wing back, and played him on the
connections.
right.
and to me I don't know about you guys, but I think you guys should get rid of Garnacho too. I feel so. Get get rid of him and then get two attacking wingers that you trust that can score
No,
goals. Because
see,
at the end of the day, when you get those the thing about those formation, the thing about Arteta's formation, Pep's formation, and like Amorim, you need guys that come from the flanks that can contribute goals too, because it takes all the pressure from the middle. Because it seems they don't really like the nine, play like a pure nine. Guardiola just
thing,
got Haaland, and
the
that's
thing I
because
think, what I'm thinking is that I think with these managers, they find it difficult developing youngsters. They would rather buy players that fit into the system than developing. So that's the problem I'm having with Amorim, with Meno and Ganacho. It will be difficult. They will have to find their own self development because it's not going to be easy.
Yes,
Because
that's
all
the problem.
Ganacho
I
needs
agree with
is
that as well. Yeah,
be able to score under pressure.
people don't coach. They
That's
don't
all
coach
Ganacho
that's what I'm
anymore.
needs to
saying.
learn.
That's it.
And I don't think somebody has that time to come and be training.
That's a funny
Ball
point to
sense,
raise.
ball intelligence. Doesn't have
That's a
it.
funny
no,
point
but
to
like,
raise because
how about
nowadays,
it's a bad idea to play three at the back in the Premier League these days, right? Or it's a bad idea
Forest
if you're
does
trying to
it.
win the league. It's a bad idea to play with wing backs or to invert your wing backs and ask your number 10 to go wide.
Disagree to
When
that
you
point.
play three at the back, you will see you need attackers that are killers, like basically killers in terms of they are going to cause havoc in the front because you have three at the back, right? So you must have killers at front. So that's something
What
like
team do you
Liverpool
have
now.
in mind?
It's something like Liverpool.
What team do you have in mind when you're describing these three at the back that has killers up front? And what league were they in?
Liverpool springs to mind right now.
Did they
They
play
can
with
play,
three at the
but they
They
back?
don't
play
play.
four at the back.
No,
Liverpool
but they
play four at
can
the back.
because they have.
No,
No, I
no,
know,
no, no. Don't,
But in
what I'm saying,
possession,
what I'm
they
saying, they
bring
can.
their
That's
three.
not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a team that plays with three at the back and wing backs and this system that Amorim is using. Tell me the team that you have in mind, right? And what league were they in? The only people that have done it in Premier League was Chelsea with this guy Conte.
Conte.
Man City does it too. Some games they do it. Man City does. They start with
But
four.
that's
They start with
also
four, but
have
they morph it to
reliable
a three.
attack.
For
It
me,
comes Ake, Akanji, and Diaz.
So City do
Man
it
City does it.
in possession.
Ake goes forward.
So when they're in
yes,
Yes.
Liverpool
possession, you
does it
can
in
see John
possession
Liverpool
as
Stones.
well.
goes forward
John
now.
Stones will make the
Liverpool,
back
yeah,
four
Liverpool,
and
thank you.
become
Liverpool does it in possession.
John Stones can leave the back four and become a DM. Yes.
Become a
Even
flat.
sometimes I
Yes.
think I've seen this guy, what is his name?
Akanji does it as
Ake
well.
does forward to
Even when they play that, even when they put that small boy,
Rico Lee.
even
That's
when they put
Rico
not
that
Lee
small boy,
goes
he
forward
that's
goes,
not
too.
the same
he
thing
goes
as
forward.
playing. That's not the same thing as playing three centre backs, two midfielders in front of them, another two number tens in front of them, and a striker, and then asking one wing back basically to do the work of covering all the space and inverting and doing everything.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just formation is just the name.
And
The players are meant to
Manually
be
was there to
clever
make
enough
sure.
to be able to adapt.
The
And I was going to
formation
say something before I
affects.
forget.
No, there's no sense.
I was just saying because Jude raised a valid point, right? Nowadays, coaches don't coach anymore; you just buy already made players. But the funny thing is now this generation have the most coaches. You have throwing coach, set pitch coach, set pitch coach,
coach,
defensive coach,
goalkeeping
attacking
coach.
coach, all the different coaches, but no one is actually still coaching the players. So they should just sack all these people and like pay managers to coach again. But anyways, that was the point I was going to say. But anyways, go ahead.
No, like I think for me, like the question about the system to me still stands, right? Because the only person that we've seen do it had one of the best strikers in the world, Diego Costa, in at the time, basically in his
They had
team.
Hazard. They had Hazard.
They had
So
they had
they have
Hazard,
What's his
they
name?
have
Victor
they had
Moses,
Fabregas,
Yes.
they had
Fabregas.
Fabregas after his
That's
Arsenal and Barcelona experience.
They had
They had
Victor
Kante,
Moses,
they had a good
Aspilicueta.
holding midfielder. They had Matic.
you guys are making my points for me now. And so the idea that like we can go into the market next year or the year after that and buy Costa, Kante, Victor Moses of that form, Aspilicueta.
You don't have to. You don't have to buy all of them to your team. Three of them is fine because already you already have somebody like a minor on your team. I believe Mino
Where
will
is
get
Mino
better next
playing in
season.
this system? Number 10 or number 8? Amorim can make up his mind. Or striker. Where?
So now, what you're going to do now? You have to figure out a position for Mino. Where is he best? Ask him where is he best. But where was he playing last season under your coach? What was
Box to
because
box.
he was playing 10, right? So basically, now what you have to get is an 8. Very simple. Get an 8 and leave him as a 10,
No, but
and then get like a
10
good.
number 10 in 4-4-2 is different from 10 in 4-2-3-1.
No, you don't have to
It's
play
different
4-2.
from
Since he wants
10
to
in
play
4-3-3. It's different from 10 in 4-5-1. It's different from 10 in this formation that Amorim is using. It's the same midfield, but like your roles are slightly different, right? I mean, the jury is still out, but I'm saying that like it's a huge gamble to say that like okay, we need to cater our purchasing basically for the next 2 or 3 years to suit this guy's system. I'm suggesting that Antonio Conte caught lightning in the bottle at Chelsea with what he was able to do. He was extremely lucky to be able to pull that off in the Premier League with
No, now what do
players
you mean
of.
lucky?
I'm saying I think he was lucky and like with players of quality that you just can't come across in United right now or in the market basically for a reasonable price. And I don't think it's fair to even try basically and do it right now. But we'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
what comes out.
anyways,
Of.
You
like
can't
just
get
give
you
him
can't get all
two
the
or
players to
three,
fit your
or give him
system.
like 3 or 4 transfer windows. I'm sure Amorim will come good. When he implements his style.
He doesn't need to get all his players for his system. I feel like 2-3 should be fine because he's supposed to be
No,
flexible.
two, three is including January transfer window. I don't think 2, 3.
You know, there's something you need to, like I always keep
Onana.
saying, he didn't have a preseason. For all we care, he may not like these
That's what I'm
players he's
saying.
looking at. I mean, if you watch him in Lisbon, he had a striker.
Yeah, but how many players does he want to
So
get
so
rid
that's
of?
what I'm
That's the
saying, that
problem. How
he
many do
hasn't
you
had
want to get rid of?
preseason. So preseason is a time where you can experiment at no cost. But in the league, it's like a software. If you go live, every transaction has impact. But when you're in a test environment, you can still be playing with how do we reverse transactions, how do we do,
Just
So preseason is a test environment, but it's
I
just
know
too
you
early
guys are
to
not
go
signing a
live and you
striker,
want him
Sha,
to start doing
because
My
transactions.
own is
Hoyland is less
7.
than 2 seasons old in the Premier League. Zexi is less than a season old in the Premier League. Those are some millions and millions and millions of pounds.
He's actually just
Exactly,
came
you're
this
not
summer
signing
now.
any striker, so just forget that one.
Oh,
Better get used to Garnacho and
That's what I'm saying.
Chido.
What to me Amorim
I
needs to
feel
get this summer is if he can
Yeah,
sort his
you just
his
need maybe wing
attacking
backs
his
and
attackers
midfielders.
right and left, and then like a midfielder. I think United defensively, like you said, I think
Eh,
defensively
but do
guys
you
are
think
good
he
to
has a
me.
problem with wing? Because I mean, Ahmad is on
he
one
doesn't
wing,
trust the others. He's not
and
even about trust. Literally,
So now he
he's
has.
being played.
I don't. To me, Garnacho should be sold. You have a problem. We have a problem with the wing because I don't think he trusted. Apart from Alman, Alman is the only player I think he trusts on the wing. He doesn't. To me, he doesn't trust any other person on the wing. So he needs to get another person. Because if you get another person now, you don't have to play Zexi and that other idiot. What's his name?
I still don't understand how Onana will carry a shot and deliver it to an opponent just to score back. Like, can't he punch it out or punch it sideways?
I think
Like,
that's why you
like
guys play five at the back. Another I say is the stress on his own.
he has been doing it almost consistently. He's consistent now in what he's doing.
let's hope that Amorim
But it's actually
finds the
fine.
wisdom somewhere to correct his mistakes, and spend some time talking about another manager that is in trouble. We call it now Marescam, maybe is his name, but. Chelsea are going through a lot. I think the defensive frailties that people suspected they had are coming to fruition. So, Dixon, since it's prompted a switch of conversation, we'll start with you. What do you make of Chelsea's bubble being burst, and how their season is playing out?
in fact, for me, I've been very surprised because I was one of those that was praising Maresca at the beginning of the season that he was punching above his weight, or to put it better, he
So,
was overachieving. But I remember you were always saying this. Let's give it time. I know Shenoti was always on. Let's give this thing time. Let's give this thing time. So I hate to say that you have been proven right because for some reason they seem not to know how to win a game anymore. But I remember at the beginning of the season, then again, his problem is not similar. It's not similar, but high temperature is can be is a symptom in different diseases. So he also has a problem in the sense that he did players that he inherited are not his players. I mean, he took over the job and management have signed 45 players. Remember his first preseason, after a few weeks, he said, I don't have 25 players, I have 28. I don't have 45, I have 28. Meaning, I met these guys also. I'm still sieving out who I want, who I don't want. So I think we still need to give him
mm,
time. And clearly, even when he was winning, remember, he said it, I'm not in title race. So he never gave anybody expectations. I know you can say he was trying to provide excuses in advance, but we have to also work with him that he never made promises of heaven and earth for anyone. So we still need to give him time. Let's give him next season because he
That's
had a
expected.
preseason this season. He will have another. I don't know if he will even have a preseason because there's Club World Cup in the summer next year. I take it back. This year there's
And
Club
Chelsea is
World Cup
going.
this summer. So I don't know how we want
Okay.
to juggle that with a bloated squad, but he will also need time. That's what I see. I'm disappointed. I
And
didn't see this
Judesi, can you
coming,
see that?
honestly, so I'm very disappointed.
Judesi, can you see that the Sancho you're hyping is garbage? See,
Just
the Jesse is too
yeah,
garbage.
but
Sancho,
Rashford is like
Sancho, Wasteman.
the real Sancho has
no.
come. I told you give it. The real Sancho has come back.
Rashford will probably do well.
And that's
If you
exactly what
be
happened
fine.
to Rashford as well. Just give me a few games.
I think people forget that Maresca, if you check his track record in Leicester, it's the same thing. He started so well and then tailed off
Yeah,
towards around this period. What saved it was that Leicester accumulated
yeah,
so
he
much
nearly lost the
points
league. Yes,
at the beginning of the
yes.
season. So that's what saved him. So I just think
Mm.
it's the same thing that's happening
That's how
with
not
Chelsea.
been
And
doing that much.
Chelsea is not as good as people think they are. Their defense is crap. Even just like Mikel always says, you can't do anything with Jackson as a striker. You also say it as well.
But Jackson
When you
has
have
been,
No, it's
Jackson
not
as a
but since
succeed.
striker,
Jackson has not been
he
playing,
has body
since
truth.
he's not been playing,
No,
they've been losing.
no.
So
See.
you can't say
When
that.
you are talking like that because the standard has fallen. You can't come from a Costa, a Drogba,
Lukaku
and
then.
you have Jackson.
I
Chelsea is used to, you understand? Chelsea is used to Costa. Even
They
Torres when
even
Torres
had
was garbage.
Lukaku. They even had
Torres was
Lukaku at
there.
some point. You can
I look at the drop off. I am looking at Jackson. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
No, but like, is it Jackson making a difference or the absence of Jackson?
That's what I'm saying.
No, Jackson. Don't get me wrong. Jackson has tried this thing, but no matter how much you try, I mean, a C Tech is a C Tech.
But they have Neto. They had
That's what he's not
No,
going to
but
do fast.
They
clearly
had
Chelsea
Joao
lack
Felix, they had
penetration
Neto.
without Jackson.
but they still chose
They
Jackson.
do now, but doesn't mean Jackson's the answer.
well, there's no coach that wants to succeed that will
But
use
it's
a
what they
Jackson.
have, and it's delivering for what they have. And it's been injured now. It's been away, and they're not performing well. They have Nkunku. Okay, now before this season, people will say Nkunku is ahead of Jackson, but now, who is better, Nkunku or Jackson? Yeah, but I'm sure last season everybody will say, "Give us Nkunku. Nkunku is the guy."
Nkunku.
I think Nkunku needs. I don't know
I
what's
think it's
wrong
very
with him.
unfair.
Man. He's
We are
a good player, but I don't
comparing. I think it's
understand.
very unfair on Nkunku that we're comparing him with Jackson.
No, I'm saying in
Look
Chelsea.
at conversion ratio now. Look at conversion ratio. I mean, Jackson needs like 12 chances to hit the bar, maybe like another 4 to score. Jackson can remove the
Yes, but we're talking
goalkeeper
about all round
No.
affecting the
and
game.
miss.
I miss.
Because there's some.
I not even attempt the goal. He
I'm talking
can
about
remove the
alright.
keeper and still not attempt the goal. He's done it twice
What
already
about
this season.
Nkunku in Chelsea?
Nkunku is not being. First of all, Nkunku
Nkunku has been.
he has not been given
garbage.
enough time. You have to remember.
And the time has been given.
And in the cup competition,
Against who?
but in the
He has
cup
been garbage.
competition, Nkunku has really turned up. And I find it strange the way football works these days, where somebody is clearly playing nonsense, is not converting, and they'll say, "Oh,
Obi,
but Jackson is pressing." I'm like, come on,
which people in which competitions,
what
please?
do you need
Can
your
you list the
press
club?
for?
Brother, you're saying, come on, you support United. Zexi is not pressing. Are you not playing -1? You need your attackers to press too.
If I'm a coach all day, I will take a half-fit Nkunku over Jackson in his prime. Nkunku in a better team. As an Arsenal fan, imagine your team, Nkunku, in that your top 4, replacing maybe a Kai Havertz or Gabriel Jesus. Imagine not
With the
Nkunku
Nkunku I'm
replacing
seeing in
Trossard on
Chelsea
the
this
flank or
season, I don't want him
Martinelli.
anywhere near my
Rashford
club.
is balling. Like, you can get Rashford.
The Nkunku I'm seeing this season, I don't want to see him anywhere
Rashford
near
is
my
our
club.
best.
I don't. No, as long as from Chelsea, I don't want to.
Casemiro is one of
No,
the
because
Anybody
it's
from
not
Chelsea,
it's-
Man U,
look,
Man City,
But
I
at the
don't
end of the
want
day,
them.
at least
Liverpool, I don't want
you
them.
want your players to contribute. It's not assisting. It's not scoring goals. It's not dribbling anybody. What is he doing there? Like you might as well just keep playing Sterling instead of getting Nkunku. Like that's another person we're going to have.
Yeah. Speaking of people who are having trouble reaching their prime, Arsenal had a good weekend. And I think it's looking like we might have another season of just about. What a great second place battle or competition.
Toe to toe.
So like for yeah, toe to toe, yes, toe to toe with the champions. Um,
This season, there's no
so
toe
for
anywhere.
the Arsenal for the Arsenal
There's no
boys,
toe to toe this season.
is Merino the answer to our striking problems? Because 2 goals, changing the game. It seems like we have a goal scorer. What do you make of?
No, it's not the answer to Arsenal's. Because I don't know when you say our. Once you put yourself inside our now, I don't trust that. I don't trust it again.
Oh no!
It's mocking us.
No.
It's okay.
He came in and did a job. There's one thing that you always appreciate of Arsenal teams under Arteta. Like anybody can score goals, right? It doesn't need the strikers to score goals.
Yeah.
But the only thing is we just need to find a way not to bring Sterling in anymore. I don't know why that guy is playing. I don't know why he's starting. I don't even know why he's
Oh my God.
The manager believes in him now.
I don't know what I know all these players they signed contract that I must play a certain amount of games or something like that. I don't know. Maybe
And
that
I've seen
maybe
Shaman,
that's why
I've seen
because
Park Young.
he contributed
Sterling is the worst.
nothing to the game at all. I don't know. It's
It's
even
better.
playing
Let him
worse
play
than
Merino.
William
Because
played. You know when we signed William.
Sterling is like -1. I'm telling you. It's better to play with 10 men minus. Like Sterling literally holds the ball and runs into the defender and leaves. I'm like, what are you doing?
When
Unfortunately,
there's
Sterling
opportunities
has
to
not
shoot,
learned
it's
the
going to
basics
let
of football, and he's 32 already, or be 33. but he still plays like
Please,
No, Sterling is
no.
he's
30.
This
30.
Oh.
to me is just
Sterling is 30.
Agent
That's what
Sterling.
I'm telling
That's
you.
what
It's
I'm
not.
saying.
It's
It's
Wow,
Agent
not.
he's
Sterling.
30.
He started so young. It's like Joao Felix. He
Wow.
started so young, so that's
I
why
was
you think
thinking he's
that.
already 33. 30. Wow.
Nah, Sterling is 30.
But Teta spoke highly of him in the summer now when he was going to get him. He said, I know what I saw. He spoke highly of him that I saw him in City. He spoke very well.
What do you want? What do you want him to say? That I saw pipe, I saw a pipe, and I signed a pipe. He's not going to say that now. If there's one thing I know with Mikel Arteta, he is a big liar. He is the biggest liar. He lies. He lies more than Pep Guardiola. Arteta will say this player is not available, the player will play. Arteta will say this player is available, the player is injured. That is Mikel Arteta for us. I don't believe one thing he says in the media.
I think this year Teta might regret selling Nketiah. I mean, at this point in the season, this is when Nketiah will step up.
He can
No,
also
my,
go.
my point is not even selling him. You should have replaced him. My problem, he ready to sell him.
Matata
I'm happy that Arsenal
Man
fans
U
are
as
seeing
in
that
production.
Nketiah they were having. Because if you
Classes.
look at him Palace, he cannot even start in Palace.
But
Mateta is
Matata is
benching
on
in
match
Palace.
form now. Don't talk.
So
Don't.
no,
No, no,
but
no,
even
no.
not even
It's
before
not fair.
even
Don't
before the
downplay
form.
Matata now. He's
No,
on a good time.
no, I'm saying like even before the form.
Matata even had a good. He had a good preseason. You remember he was at the Olympics. He won silver. I think he probably like one of the highest goal scorers in the tournament. And I mean, you can't just because you're coming from Arsenal's bench come and stroll into Crystal Palace first team. It's unfair.
Me, my problem is that everybody got rid of. I was not against that, but you have to get rid of them and replace them.
Exactly.
That was my
Not
point.
replace them with
You have
Sterling.
to replace them.
But the answer to your question, Mr. Sheunti, is that we are going to score goals. Anybody that Ateta brings in will find a way to score goals.
Wait, so Dr. Toes, I mean, but you guys, Merino scores is good for people to be able to chip in. But you guys are how many points now behind the league leaders,
7.
Liverpool? 7 points, right? I mean, I know some Arsenal fans that were hoping today that Wolves would do a miracle. It doesn't seem like that's where the
I know
miracle
the
is
teams
going to
that can
come
actually
from.
give Liverpool problem. Wolves is not one. It's not one of them.
Well, I predicted third at the
Even
start
if
of the
that
season, and I'm sticking to that.
I predicted second, and my prediction is coming because once I saw the transfer window gave me an indication of where Arsenal were going to head, where we're heading this season. If they have done what I expected them to do at the transfer window, I would have said confidently said yes, we can win the league.
no,
But when I saw what they did, and then January came, it was another avenue to help themselves,
no,
and they did nothing. Then that told me, okay, fine. Even them, they're written up the season. Then who am I? If the board and the club itself are written up the season, who am I to not say win the league? So right now, what Arsenal is doing is just salvage of what we have about this season. Let's just try and finish top four, which to me I think was their goal from the onset was top four because based on the transfer window, that's what it tells me that their goal was okay. We have a good squad to give us top four, which is their goal still. So we're going to get top four, and I think we're going to get second because I don't think Nottingham Forest and Man City are going to catch up to Arsenal. Like I feel Arsenal is just going to win enough games
Man City
to
the
remain
vex,
second.
so
Please,
Because they
can I
beat
just chip in
Newcastle.
something? The amount of injuries that we have is showing to me that Arteta already knew from the start of the season that we are going to have like a lot of players are on red. That's why he adopted this style of playing very, very sluggish, very, very slow, trying to conserve energy. But then the problem is now, if you knew that from the beginning of the season, why are you not signing people instead of like playing with like 8 defensive-minded players and hoping that goals are going to come in? Because now it's what we are relying on. We are having like 8 defensive-minded players hoping for a miracle, but that is not a way to win a league. That's not the way to compete or contend for a league title. So that is gives me a big red flag on Arteta as well as a company man. You know this is red. Like Odegaard might get injured very, very soon. I remember there was a game, I don't know if it's against United or Newcastle first leg. In the first half, in the cup competition, in the first half, Odegaard was signaling that he wants to come out of he's done. And before we knew it, second half, Odegaard came out playing as if he was not even injured at all. So which tells me that this guy is playing on injection. So at some point, he might also go down and disappear. Then who is going to come in at that point in time? That is my only worry at this point in time. But scoring goals is not my problem. My problem is Arteta's not managing the team well and overstretching. At some point, these guys are going to finish their careers earlier than it's supposed to be because one manager is trying to be the god of football for no reason. Anyways, that's it.
As and Arsenal, they're the gods of PR.
another
See what
thing
they did.
this
See what
season.
they did. They released the picture of Saka. And Saka is back on the train. Seriously, well, we know Saka is not coming back till like April.
I have a question for the Arsenal fans, which is similar to a question I asked you 2 weeks ago before you played Newcastle in the second leg. At this point of your season, If you were to advise Ateta, what would you advise him to focus on? Is it catch up with Liverpool or put all his eggs in the Champions League? Because if you ask me, I think Arsenal has a good shot at the Champions League. This new format now,
Champions what?
the way it's structured.
Is
So
a
look at
league.
it. Let
I'll
me
go
explain
for league,
something in the
man. Not
Champions
Champions
League.
Champions what?
Look at people that are out of the Champions League already. City is out. Um,
I'm telling you, the
let me
Arsenal
see.
has a chance of losing that game. That's round of 16. I'm telling you today,
League.
the
Yeah,
Arsenal
that's
has a lack of striker. There's no striking option. They have more chances of being
yeah.
beat by a team that qualifies
Madrid
now.
is going to play Juventus or Inter. One of them.
Liverpool have more big games to lose, to play, and to defend. They have like almost. They've not played like six of like out of that top six. They've not played like maybe five. They've only played Man U. They've not played Arsenal. They've not played Man City. They've not played Chelsea. They've not played all this.
And Man
We are
City.
calling
They
Man
don't
U.
play Man
I've not
City.
even
Man
played
City
Man U,
playing
sef.
second
What are you
leg.
talking about?
It's no longer one.
I've not played City. I've not played Man U, Liverpool. So I see
City
have
has
We
Man
are
not.
U,
talking about
Liverpool.
we are talking about Liverpool, Johnny boy.
I see have Newcastle
Their
too. I
best
see have
option.
Newcastle as well. Damn. We see have Nottingham Forest too away.
So
We
you
see
know
have
why
Nottingham
I feel
Forest.
Don't
so.
count, don't count
If you
mine in the
remember
list.
2018, when Mourinho was our coach, when Man U was struggling with top four, they asked him that what is the plan now. He said, if I win 5 games in Europa, I'm guaranteed Champions League next season. And Mourinho put all his eggs in the Europa and he won it. So I feel that a cup competition, your games are limited. Your best opponents can be eliminated. Remember, the gladiators will fight each other. You can be lucky and just go through an easy route. But in the league, there are no guarantees in the league where because if you're playing a team battling relegation, your motives are different. But in Champions League, you can just look at okay, City is out, okay, PSG is out, okay, this is out, okay, if I beat this, I won't meet this. You can do some, of course, there's element of luck, it may not happen, but you can control things more, I feel, in league, cup competitions than in league. That's why they say that league, the best team wins the league. But cup, not necessarily the best team win the
Yeah.
cup. So
No, yeah, no, seriously,
that
yeah.
was the premise of me asking you people, but I'm not sure if I even heard people's thoughts. So
Yeah,
both of you, what do you say?
yeah. But the issue with that is that I get your point, but you forget that Mourinho did that in Europa League, so you have lesser competition in Europa League than Champions League. Champions League, like you said, you still have Atletico, you still have
Quality of your position is
PSG.
different.
Thank you. PSG is still there, but PSG is going to qualify by Brest. You still have
Real Madrid or
you
Man
still
City.
have Madrid is probably going to go through. Madrid is probably going to go through, right? Barcelona is still there. Liverpool, even Liverpool is there. So, like you said, so thank you. Inter Milan is there. Juventus might still be there too. So based on that, I mean, Bayern Munich is still there too.
Me, I don't think Ateta has a choice.
Yeah, there's no choice. That's what I think as well. There's no choice. We Arsenal cannot beat any defensive minded team. If you just defend like this, that's at the end. We are struggling to beat people in the league. Is it the Champions League that they already know how to do it? Seasoned vets. All the teams that you guys have named are like seasoned vets in the Champions League. To be very, very good in defending. We cannot break them down,
But
so there's no
something
point.
you guys are forgetting is in the Champions League, you will not necessarily need to beat the best. But in the league, you need to beat the best. Because in the league, you need to beat City, you need to beat
Yes, I'm
Liverpool.
not even talking about the best. I'm talking about just the defensive mindedness. If they just put two banks of four, bow, that's it. We just be passing and passing and passing left to right, crossing to nobody, left to right, crossing to nobody.
So
That's
let's
it.
assume off the top of my head, because I know City in my head is out. I can't think otherwise. So imagine Madrid making
They might
so
meet
imagine
Atletico. They might meet Atletico. Because I think their bracket is
So
Atletico or
imagine a Madrid
Bayern Munich is
meeting.
one of them.
Imagine
I
a
think that's their
Madrid
bracket.
meeting Atletico. No, so Let's say Madrid meets Atletico. Let's say PSG meets Bayern. Let's say Liverpool meets Inter. Now you can see Arsenal's path is getting easier. Then maybe Arsenal goes to meet
And whenever the
PSG.
jam
On
Arsenal,
paper.
sha, whenever whenever the jam Arsenal, they are going home.
I give you an example. We played Inter Milan this season. You know what
It's
I did
0-0.
against
I
Inter
watched the
Milan?
0-0
We
now.
had what Inter Milan.
No, it was 1-0. We
No,
lost
they
1-0.
beat us
It's
1-0.
penalty.
What Inter Milan did was what. Yeah, but that's what they wanted. That's what you need. So Inter Milan knew. I think Inter Milan knew that all we need to do against Arsenal is score them and just block. Once we block, they can't break contact. Arsenal didn't cross and not. We crossed like 20 something crosses. Not one shot. I don't think we had a
No,
shot
we
on target
didn't.
that they jumped to. We didn't have
No.
a read. That's my point. The same thing Bayern did. Remember
Same.
last season, Bayern, second leg.
Mm.
Same thing. They just did the bank of four. Arsenal didn't do anything.
You're talking about Amorim and Beating Arteta. It's the same thing with Sporting as well. All of them just defend.
No, even Porto, we struggled against Porto first leg. We struggled against Porto because Porto did the same thing. They sat back.
But can we say it's a mental issue? Because I'm struggling to think it's a
There's a
quality
mental
issue.
aspect to it.
Yeah,
There's mental
No, it's a
aspect
coaching
and
issue.
there's
It's
quality
a
I'm
aspect.
coaching
struggling
issue.
to.
To me, it's a coaching issue.
If you watch PSG this season, they are playing like a different PSG. There's no big name, no Galactico, and it's just on Enrique's tactical
Yeah,
brilliance.
I'm not scared of PSG.
But Enrique is tactically fluid though. Enrique is tactically fluid. He's tactically fluid. Like yesterday now, Vela played as a striker. Not really, but he started as a nine. But you see that they were interchanging. He came to the wing sometime.
For me, I know.
He was played as a nine. But with Ateta is very rigid. So Warren playing on the right. And Warren is going to
We've
down
already
that
played
right.
PSG
Not
this
going to
season.
the
We
left.
outclassed them. We beat them. We smashed them. Like if you come out to play football, Arsenal will have a field day.
Yes.
But the other teams are just going to defend. That's my problem. If we play anyone that comes to defend, that's it. We don't have a solution to that.
Any code that is tactically sound will beat
But how
Ateta.
many
That's the
but how
truth.
many
He
big
comes up
teams in
strong.
Champions League would defend? Think about it. Company doesn't know how
But
to defend to save
even
his
if you
life.
don't, I'm not by defend. I mean like
So I
sit back
think
and
the
play
only
counter
teams
attacking
that you
football.
will struggle with are like an Atletico. You know, Atletico, Simeone will give you the ball.
But it's not about the coach. For instance, Bayern is experienced enough. They don't need company to play Arsenal. That's what I feel.
No,
If
but company,
Bayern
look
meets
at the
Arsenal
coach.
now,
Company will
they're
not
experienced.
sit back. Company is the Pep
But
prototype.
I trust Bayern players. Did you watch that game yesterday? They actually sat back against Leverkusen yesterday. So there's a little bit of tactically fluidity in Bayern right now. Yesterday
Leverkusen.
against the Leverkusen, they knew they didn't have to lose the game. So what they did, they sat back and defended, and they had a goalless draw. That's it. So to me, I feel Bayern is experienced enough. They have players that are experienced enough. They don't even need company. Because I feel sometimes you get to a stage in Champions League, you don't need a coach. You've been there and done that. Experience just it's true. That's one thing about I like Ancelotti is that Ancelotti trusts his
They take
players.
the initiative.
That's why he
Yeah.
doesn't give instructions all the time. He trusts his players enough that they have been there, done that. So they just allow them, you know what, do what you're gonna do. And most times they do what they're supposed to do. So that's why I trust like if Arsenal meets like a Bayern in the quarterfinals, I'm
As
scared.
long as it's the London
I'm
team.
scared. If they meet like a Inter Milan fans. If I Inter Milan, I don't even trust
That's why
them.
I'm watching all the
But
team
if any,
9%. Whether it's Champions League, whether it's
like
Premier League, there's no
like
choice.
in Champions League,
Right?
any tactically sound coach will beat
There's
Arteta
no.
because Arteta is yet to figure out. Arteta is yet to figure out a way to cancel low block. If even our game this season that we have drawn in Premier League, check it's mostly teams that has sat back against us now. That's we always struggle against that.
Anyways,
that
Liverpool
kind of
is winning the
system.
league.
So,
Liverpool is winning the league. We know that, and then
yeah, I mean
everybody
we'll
will
go next
find
year.
their
it's
way.
obvious.
We just know that.
So that's why right now it's more about making sure it's take top four and hopefully they do what they're supposed
Well,
to do
all
in
this one is
summer.
mass and hope.
So
We'll see
what do
where
you
we
people
finish at the end
think?
of the day.
So still on Ateta, what do you think? Because this will be the third consecutive season that he has gone toe to toe. Because I feel like
We know the question. All this one you want to build. Should they
no,
sack
wait.
him?
So
Arteta will remain
no,
in
not that, not that.
the
Wait,
job.
wait,
All
wait,
this
wait.
one you are
So
doing.
before this season started, I was reading his interview, and he said his wife complained like he was absent-minded at home. He said he kept thinking about the season that just ended. Like, what could we have done better? Because he nearly won it and he lost it in a similar way he lost it the first time. Now, this season where City has not been City that we come to know, it was expected that okay, he would step in and now for some reason it's Liverpool. So I'm just looking at
We
his
blame we blame
I'm
injuries. We
just trying
blame
to get
injuries.
into
We
his
blame
mind
injuries.
like
No.
what do you think
No,
we'll be going through?
Dixon. I think if Arsenal do win, that's the way that they will win because they would find themselves in a different situation instead of leading the pack and trying to defend the points. You're chasing, right? That's probably a more comfortable, different kind of pressure. It might be a better position for Arsenal and Arteta to be in, basically, for them to get success than to be the one being chased.
Okay. But no. But I don't. Well, then again, maybe because it's not fair to compare people. Because I remember when Mourinho was in Chelsea, he said something. They asked him about how do you feel pressure. He said, if I look up, I don't see anybody. That there's no pressure. That there's only pressure if there's somebody up, but there's nobody up when I look up. I'm the one at the top. So for like a Mourinho, he's
That's
happy.
Mourinho now.
Do you think
But
if
also
Pep is
Pep
being
said he
changed, he's
likes
going to be
chasing.
under pressure?
He
People
likes
are
chasing
money
as
is
well.
better than
So
That's Pep now.
No, that's so.
exactly. So different people.
Yeah,
Different.
but yeah, Mourinho is a different man. Mourinho of then and Mateta now, you can't compare it now.
At this point in time, we might be able to forgive every single manager that has come up against Pep and Pep City, right? Like it's possible that for the last 10 or 12 years, everybody gets graded on a curve because Pep was just and Man City they were just so exceptionally gifted, and the only person to come close is Klopp, and even then, he only won I think one
Conte won the league too.
But wait, oh, you
or
know something
twice.
too. I just to support your point. Klopp did 90. In fact, did you listen to Pep's press conference yesterday? He said no matter how great Liverpool have been this season, they can't do 100 points. He said at best, mathematically, they can get 99. So he said that shows how good we have been in the past. Klopp did 99. He did 99. He didn't win the league. He did 97. He didn't win the league. I think he did 93. So,
Yeah.
so Klopp, imagine winning 97 points and you didn't win the league. So I'm sure those things are part of the
99, he
99.
didn't
He
win the
didn't win the
league.
league.
99, he
I
didn't win
remember
the league
Fergie
too.
will say, "I'm targeting 80 points this season." He will get 85 and he win the league. And somebody is doing 99, is not still
Yeah.
winning the league.
Um.
So Sean, see, I'm supporting your point. How great Pep's team has been. Yes, I agree with you.
No, no, no. I hear you. I'm just saying that, like, where it's the I guess like the era that we are in Premier League right now, and is yet to be seen who will come out. I guess like victorious now that Pep, I guess, is receding. Whether it's the newcomer slot or the second place champion,
Toe
Mister
to toe.
Totuto
We don't know if it's receding
Ateta.
though. Next season, we don't know.
Um, Mr. Totuto Ateta. But like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.
All right, that's now one love. Until next time, please.
So guys,
Take
please
care,
like,
everyone.
share, subscribe.
Thank you, guys.